one thing to think about when you have your guitar and you're learning chords and it's, in your possession or whatnot, you have to come up with some kind of basic practice routine. And, you always want to have your guitar out on a stand. Don't necessarily, just shove it in your case and put it under the bed or wherever you store it. A lot of times when I was doing lessons in a particular music store, I would always tell the students, get a wall hanger, get a stand, just have it out so, it's accessible and it makes you want to pick it up. And the first thing, with your practice routine or any time is just you always want to make sure you're in tune. You can have your tuner on your guitar. You can leave it on the guitar. My G's a little flat. Because the importance of tuning when you first, start playing the guitar is to get the pitch of the string sort of memorized. And, once your guitar's all tuned up, and you feel like it feels right, you can start doing some simple hand stretches, just kind of pulling my wrist back to open up the underside of my arm. My forearm, get your hands, going. And so the first exercise when I was learning, or I'll teach, some people who are asking me, they want to learn guitar, is it's the spider crawl. And it can be sort of challenging when you first learn this, but I like to teach two techniques when I show this. It's just this little chromatic climb up the string. But what's happening here is my index finger is holding down this high E string on the 5th fret, and I'm plucking the string down. When my middle finger hits the next fret, I pluck the string up, down, up, and it'll give you this little rolling sort of motion on the string. And that really helps get your fingers synced up when you're learning to play the guitar, and just really helps your dexterity and build control over your finger on the string. So once again, I'm plucking the string down, up, and you want to keep your finger, you don't want to fly, all over the place when you do this. You want to keep them close to the fretboard. I'm also going reversing this little pattern, so I'm plucking the string up, down, plucking the string up, down. So you can work your way, down the fretboard, up the fretboard. And one thing, I don't know if you can see this, but my thumb is sort of traveling, with my hand. I don't really just lock it in one place. It's kind of, pendulating, so to speak, and pivoting behind the guitar neck. So that's one simple exercise you can start out. And if you're a beginner, you can try doing it on the 2 middle strings up here on the 5th fret. This just seems to be a comfortable area when you're first starting out. Here the frets are a little more stretched out. Here they might be a little close. So this is a good in-between. Down, up, down, up. And once again, my pick isn't hitting the string flat. It's kind of hitting the string at an angle. So I'm not, it's kind of coming in at an angle. So that's one of the first exercises you can. And to go up the fretboard, what's happening here is I'm sequentially going down, up. My pinky stays there, but my index finger slides up 1 fret, and I start it over. And to descend it, I'm bringing my fingers off the fretboard, and my pinky will now anchor the next fret, and I'll start it over again. Down, up, down, up. Another tricky one is like I call it the spider climb. And what's happening here is instead of climbing up the same string, each next finger will go down to the next string. So I'll start out here with my fifth fret, my index on the 5th fret, low E string. My middle finger now is on the, that's my 6th string. So my index finger is on the A of the 6th string, where my middle finger now is coming up to the 6th fret of the 5th string. My ring finger, my 3rd finger, is now on the 7th fret of the D string, the 4th string down, and my pinky will hit the G string here on the 8th string. It kind of makes one of those staircase shapes. And the way I'm picking that is I'm going down, 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 and the bottom string I bring up, I pluck up. That's only the beginning. The second part goes. So what happens here is when I finish this little 4-string run and I pluck up this way, my index finger jumps down to the next fret. So it's going from the 5th fret down to the 3rd string on the 6th fret, and I climb back up and I pluck the string up. Middle finger's on the 7th fret. Ring finger comes to the 8th on the 5th string, and my pinky lands up here on the 9th on the low 6th string. So I'm plucking the string up, 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 and then I go down when my pinky hits the low string on the 9th fret. Just that alone, might take you a minute if you're new to the guitar. But it's allowing your hand to move maybe in different ways that it's not used to necessarily moving on the guitar neck or any other way. So once again, and you can work your way up the fretboard. So that's a great way to, start learning to have control over your fingers and each of the individual strings. Another thing to think about when you first start learning the guitar is when you're practicing is learn and practice all of the chords that you know. C, A, G, E, and D. C, A, G, E, D. It spells caged. Get those chords together, and I'm going to introduce something I haven't talked about this yet, is the basic minor pentatonic scale. And I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but I'm going to show you where it sits here on the guitar neck. It's universal. You can basically play it anywhere on the neck, but we're going to start today on the 5th fret with our index finger. Pinky jumps up to the 8th fret. I'm coming down to the 5th string now with my index finger, 5, 7 with ring finger on the 7th, 5, 7, same thing, 5, 7, index finger, pinky to the 8th now, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. And it's a 5-note scale, basically, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to the root, A, above, and this is an octave, meaning 8, or it's the same note, 8 intervals above. So learning the minor pentatonic scale is just super important as far as, your introduction to scales or soloing or just understanding, where to grab some notes if somebody's playing a particular chord that will fit with the minor pentatonic scale. And you can also practice your alternate picking with the minor pentatonic scale as I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up. That's called a pull-off. I'm plucking up, pulling off, and then starting the scale over. And when I come back up, when I descend it, I'm plucking the string up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I hope this information is useful in learning the guitar, and when you come up with your basic, practice routine, you can just practice some of this stuff or all of it. Watch the video. You can practice with me in the video. The main thing is just to keep practicing. Thanks for watching.